So here you see MongoDB. So in the MongoDB, it is like non-relational database. Unlike relational databases like Oracle, MySQL, and all, you will have a non-relational database called MongoDB. Here you will not store data in the form of tables, like you will not have structural. You will not have data in the structured format. Okay, like the rows, columns, and all those things. But here the data you will be storing that in documents. Okay, so you'll have documents here, and you will not have any organized manner. Like if you consider a relational database, let us consider a login page. There you will have only two columns, right? For example, let us consider we have two columns in our login page that we have, that is username and password. And the first row you have inserted that particular username and that particular password. But now for the next user, he is also having the phone number, so you have to also insert that particular phone number. You can't insert that, right? Because the table is already designed, the number of attributes are fixed there. But here when you come to MongoDB, here you can insert any number of rows, any number of columns. Attributes are not fixed here. Okay, so you can just add the data as you want. There is no fixed limit. You'll not like you can add two attributes for the first row. You can add three attributes for the second row. That is of your choice. Okay, that is the difference, and that is why it is like non-relational database. Updations will be very fast here because you will be storing all the data together in documents, and it will be mostly in the dictionary format, like JSON format. Key value pairs you will be having. Keys are nothing but the attributes, and values are the values that you give. Like for example, login, the login table you have username, password, right? They are keys, and whatever the value that you give for the username, they are values. In that particular way you'll be entering the data in the documents. And here you will not have rows, you'll have documents, and instead of tables we call them as collections here. Okay, is that clear to you up to now about the MongoDB? Okay, and now let us perform crude operations. That means we'll create the collection, we'll add the data into the collection, we'll update the data, we'll delete the data, and we'll also try to uh, read the data that is presented in the database. We'll perform all the operations now. Okay. So this is MongoDB Campus. You have to install that. You can just directly install from the browser. Once you install, you can just create a connection first, or else if you are already having any connections, you can go inside that connection. In my case, if you want to create collection, you can just click on add new connection, and you can just give your collection name and click on save and connect. Because I'm having already, like I'm already having many connections, I'm not creating any connection now. I'm just going into existing connection. So inside this I have many databases here. I'll create a new database. You can give the database name. I'm giving my database name as, and you have to create collections inside the database. So in the database you'll have multiple collections. I'm just taking the collection name as class 1 and click on create database. See here you can see April, it is the database, and class 1 it is our collection. So if you want to write the queries, that means here the queries we'll call them as commands, that's all, not queries. You can just click here on the MongoDB shell, you will be getting a MongoDB shell open. So here you can just write the things that you want, that is commands for your collections. First it is in the test, right? I am going to move this into April database. So for that you have to type use space April, enter. So you'll be moving into the April database. Now if you want to see the collections that are presented inside this, you have to just type, show collections. See, class 1 is the only collection that is presented. If you want to create one more collection, you can also create one more collection by just using the command, or else previously we have created, right? In that way also you can create. So if you want to create the collection by just using command, in that case you can just type db dot create collection, and you can give the collection name, double quotes. Let me create class 2. Enter. So we have created the collection. Now if I just apply show collections, you can see you have two collections here. This is how you create the collections and create the databases. Okay, is that clear to you? Okay. Now let us try to insert the data into the collections. So inserting the data, you can insert the data in two ways. First one is to insert the data individually, like one row at a time. And the second one is to insert multiple rows at a time. Okay. Here we'll call them as documents. You can just ignore rows, documents. Okay. Here first you have to, if you try to insert one document at a time, you have to just type db dot followed by your class name, collection name, sorry, whichever is your collection, class 1 dot insert 1. I'm taking insert 1 as of now. And for that, first you have to open the parenthesis. I have already told you that this is like key value pair, open and close curly braces. Here you have to give the values in keys and values. For first one you have to mention the key, that is id. I'm taking the id followed by colon, and I'm going to take the id as 1 comma, and I'll also take the name. This is our second field, and the value is something like Kirtana. Now if I just click enter, see I have successfully inserted the database because I have got the positive acknowledgement, and I have also got the inserted ID, which is automatically generated when you insert the data. In the similar way, if I try to insert multiple documents at a time, in that case instead of using insert one, okay, I'll type that again. Okay, if I'll do so db dot followed by class 1 dot, instead of using insert one you have to use insert many. Okay, insert many of, so because it is in the form of array, right, we will insert multiple documents, so you have to take square braces. Inside the square braces, first I'm going to take one curly brace followed by comma for this first document, and for the second document, in the similar way if you want multiple documents you can insert at a time. Okay, third document by again separating using comma, and inside this first document I'm inserting, for which I'm taking name as Gayatri, and I'll also take roll number, whatever you want you can take. Roll number as 3. If you want you can also take phone number, 908767 something, something like this. So, and in the second also I'll just take ID, and sorry, I clicked enter by mistake. Okay, in the ID I'm going to take 5 followed by comma. Again after ID I'll take name. I'll give the name as enter. See, we have inserted two documents at a time. This is the use of insert many. You can insert not only two, more than one. You can insert like n number of documents. You can insert 5, 10, anything. So Is that clear to you about the insertion? This is the first step, which is create. Now we'll try to read the data. Okay, we'll try to just get the data that is presented in the database. So for that, you have to just type. So I'm going to type same thing, db dot followed by your collection name, that is class 1 dot find. Just give find. You'll get all the data that is presented. See, we have got id 1 Kirtana and we have id 5 Kirtana. You have second record also. All the things you'll get at a time. If you want to get only the first document, only this one, in that case, instead of using find, you can use find one. See, I'll replace find with find one. You'll get only the first document. And if you want to get some random document which is present, if you want to get the second one or third one, in that case, what you can do is you can mention some condition inside the find. You are having find, right? By using this, I'll get all the documents. But now I want a particular document. For that, I'll mention the condition here. That is, I'll take curly brace again. I'll mention the key, that is the name. I'll take the name and I'll give the name as Kirtana. We are having two things, right? We'll get that two records, that two documents, okay? These two documents. For example, if you want only one, instead of using find, you can just use find one. Here, instead of using find, you can just place find one. You will get only the first inserted document. So you can use find one. If you use find, you will get all the documents that are presented inside the collection. If you use find one, you'll get the first document. If you want to get the particular document, like if you want to mention some condition, so if you are having multiple documents with the same condition, in that case you can use find. Or else if you use find one, in that case what you will be getting is only the first inserted document you will be getting. That is the use of find and find one. Okay. Is that clear to you about reading the data that is presented in the database? Okay. Now we'll go with updation and followed by deletion. First of all, if you want to update the data, what I'll do is I'll take a new file. Okay. Because I'll open new one. First, I'll try to update the data. So updation, you can use update one or update many. In the same way, if you use update one, you can update one document. If you use update many, you will be updating many documents. That's all. First of all, let me just use db dot. I'll use update one. db dot followed by your collection name, that is class 1 dot. After that, you have to use update one and update one of. First, what you have to do, first you have to search, right? You have to search the record and you have to update that particular record, that is that particular document. First, you have to search by using some condition. You will be writing that condition here. So first I will just write some condition, that is, I will take id. What is the id? You are having id 1, right? For Kirtana, first one, id as 1. I'll get that particular, I'll be searching that, and after that I'll just take a comma, and here I'll write the condition, like what I have to modify, I'll write here. First you have to use $set method, which is compulsory for update. and here this is the syntax. You have to remember this. Okay, so here you have to mention your thing. So if you are not having the data, so for this phone number is not there, right? If I add here, if I update, then it will be created, the phone number will be created. Okay, I'll add phone number. You have added pause to acknowledgement. So if I have name, right, for this, if I want to modify the name, I can modify, but phone number it is not presented for this particular document, so I'm adding the phone number. Okay, and now if we use update many, let me just find. See, for this I have added the phone number. Initially it was not presented. If I change the ID now, instead of changing the phone number, what I'll do is I'll change the ID. Sorry. So instead of changing the phone number, I'll change the ID. I'll change ID only to something like 9. They have changed, right? So here if I find now again the name, the ID has become 9 now instead of 1. So the thing is, if you use update, if you're not having that particular attribute, that particular field, you are updating, that means it will be newly created. Otherwise, if you are updating the already existing one, it will be updated. And the next one is we have update many also in the similar way. Instead of using update one, for example, we have two records with the name Kirtana, right? In these two things, I want to add some field called, let us consider that as roll number. It is not having roll number, right? In these two things, I'll add roll number in these two, right, the records directly. So in that case, what you can do is you can use update many instead of using update one. Okay, that is, instead of using db dot followed by class 1 dot, instead of using update one, you'll use update many. So update menu, and inside the update menu you'll first write the condition in the similar way. What is the condition? Name, and the name is, I have some display problem, so that is the reason. Okay, so here I'm giving the name, and the name is Kirtana, and I'll just take farmer. In the similar way I'll use dollar set, and inside this I will just take the roll number as 45. See, here I have modified two things at a time. Modified count and match count is 2. Now if you see, by using find name, you'll be seeing the roll number in both the things. Okay, so this is about updation. Is that clear to you about updation? Okay. Now the last one is deletion. We are having a deletion. The same way we are having find, you have delete also. If you want to delete one record, you can use delete one. If you want to delete many records, you can use delete many. db dot followed by your collection name class 1 dot delete one, delete one of the condition, that's all. I'm deleting with id 3, I guess. Or else I'll take name and compare with the name. Name Gayatri, I guess. Only one problem. If you give delete one and you are having two things here, Kirtana, Kirtana, two things, right? If you give delete one and if you give Kirtana as name, only the first created thing will be deleted. Name as we have deleted. Now if I just see file, I'll get only these two things because I have deleted that. In the similar way, if you use delete many, instead of using delete one, I'll use delete many here. That's all. Just place delete many and instead of name as Gayatri, I'll just take Kim. They have deleted successfully. Don't for. Now if you find, you will not have anything. Okay, so this is about the deletion. Is that clear to you about the deletion? Is that clear? Okay. So this is your task basically to perform crude operations. So is everything clear to you about the task? Do you have any doubts regarding this? You can ask me if you're having any doubts. Is everything clear? No doubts? Okay then. So this is for today's class. We'll meet in the next class with task 4. Thank you. You can take leave from today's class. Thank you.